Hey guys, here we are on March 23rd, 2014, and we have Teri Ippoliti here, and just want to go right into it and welcome Teri.
Thank you.
And so I just want to ask a few questions of you so that you can tell the listeners who you are, how did you become a channeler? Can anybody do this, and can people be taught how to do this? And so if you just want to go with it, we have like maybe 13, 14 minutes with it we can go. And that way it's a one video for YouTube.
Okay. All right. Basically, when I first started channeling, I didn't know I was channeling. It was kind of like I would miss moments of time, or somebody would say, "Oh, I know God sent you to me," and I really didn't remember what I might have said to them. And this was like in my earlier years. I probably was about 20 years old when these episodes were happening. And then I remember once just a couple of distinct times when I was wondering what was going on with me, because I remember one time I went into the hospital. I had shingles, thinking it was a spider bite, and the nurse saw that I was a hypnotherapist and started talking to me. And started the last thing I remember her saying was, I kept on, or she was scared because she saw her father's spirit leave his body through his mouth. And then the next thing I know, I'm walking out of the hospital as though I'm in a fog. And all I could say to myself was, "Thank you," and walked out of the hospital with a prescription. And I had no clue of what I said, what happened, or anything like that. And then when I brought it to actually Joe's attention, one time when I was working for him, that's when we started exploring, and we began to develop these channeling experiences.
And a lot of channels go through a process of automatic writing as well. Did you go through that too?
Yeah, I actually, when I was 17, I was in a violent crime, and I was strangled to death. And I passed on through that tunnel type thing, and then I came across these two angels that I thought were angels at that time, and they told me I had to come back, that I had something important to do. And so after that, for some reason, I just felt like that I needed to write down my issues and my problems. I think I was seeing a psychologist at the time. And so that's when I started journaling. And when I started journaling, like things would come out of me from my mind to the pencil. And it was extraordinary, because I would almost be like writing into past lives and bringing a past life out of what I was writing. And a lot of my, I remember like in the beginning, I would read back what I wrote, and I would be an old woman maybe in an old house with no window, and I would see I would be sewing with a needle that was made out of wood, and I wrote all this detailed on this paper while I was writing thought I was writing my problems down. So that was kind of like how the automatic writing started. And of course, I got to a point where I started trying to analyze what my astrologer told me, abstract concepts. She asked me, "How do you analyze abstract concepts?" And so that's when my journey, those were parts of my journey where I wanted to know why all the time, why this was happening, why that was happening. And so that was part of the journey of channeling as well.
Mm-hmm. And so the process that you went through, this was a process of a near-death experience, some automatic writing, and various events throughout your life that led to one day coming into my office, and as I recall, and I've told this story so many times on radio shows. In fact, last night I said it again, but it's all part of this process. So I think it is important to repeat And for those who haven't heard the story, is in my perspective, it was the end of the day, and there was the second to the last patient, and you came in and you handed my receptionist a card and said that if the doctor was interested in referring any patients for smoking cessation, here's your card.
Right.
And so I overheard that, and as I was walking back the hall to the last patient, I ran back out and I said, hey, if you have 5 minutes, I got like 5 or 10 minutes, I have to see one more patient, and then we can talk.
Yeah, I remember it clearly.
Okay. And so as I'm saying it, I just want confirmation that it was, your perspective as well. And so I saw that last patient, which was a blur, and I came out to talk to you. And as I recall, we spoke there for probably 4 hours or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I felt that soul connection almost instantly.
And you said that, but I didn't get it at that point because I
Right.
wasn't at that awareness. And you said that we have some kind of a soul connection, a family, and later on, through the channelings, it may have been like a Syrian type of an energy or an energetic stream. And
and several past lives came up through us
yes,
as well.
yes, exactly. And so it was like I've known you all my life,
Right.
type of a feeling.
And I felt the same thing, yeah.
And so I hired you. Not only did I, you wanted me to just refer patients to you, but I
Right.
said, you know what, why don't I just hire you, because I had just gone through the hypnotherapy sessions and learned to become a hypnotherapist and a Reiki master, and or was working on that at the time. And I said, how was I going to do this at the same time as I was seeing patients in family medicine? And I wanted to offer my patients a choice.
Right.
And so we developed that office to the point where the one half of the office was intended to be family medicine or urgent care center, and the other side was going to be complementary or alternative, however you want to deem it.
It was kind of like blending traditional medicine and complementary medicine together, yes.
Yes. And so, as I recall, you had told me these stories, like you just said, and I says, that'd be interesting. I really want to see you automatic right. Because I was, of course, as a scientist, I want to know, how is this for real? And I wanted to experience it. Boy, this has so many implications for growth and understanding. And of course, I had studied Edgar Cayce prior to, and Nostradamus, and I'm like, oh my God, here I have Edgar Cayce in my office. And you hadn't seen that potential. And of course, it was a growth between the two of us.
We did. You and I did grow a lot through that, and that was an awesome journey. It really was an awesome journey for the both of us.
Yes, and so amongst all of this, I mean, and the only reason we're bringing this up is this is all about your journey and how you became a channel. But alongside this, we have to also mention that we were both driven intensely for soul growth, and so.
Yes.
Sometimes people limit themselves because of financial problems or, circumstances of family, and they don't allow themselves to step out. And so I didn't see that as a barrier. In fact, I said, okay, I just learned about East City Ranch. I think we need to go there. And you're like, well, yeah, but I can't afford it. And I'm like, okay, I already booked the tickets. We're going. And so in 2 weeks, you and I were travel buddies going across the country and going to the Gettysburg and channeling ghosts. And remember sitting in the bottom of the Farnsworth.
Too. Actually, I think what happened between the two of us is that we became perpetual students, inner students between the two of us.
Yes.
Because I noticed that a lot of times when I would go into a channel, especially when we shifted from ghost busting, so to speak, to the angelic realm, that's when the communication was coming up that that I actually felt like a child behind in a school desk, as the angelic realm was telling me that I was an inner student, that everything that I was learning was from the inside out.
Right.
And of course, that's when I realized, I think I really realized our connection and all the other connections in my life from hindsight that got us to this point. And even for yourself, you know, your energy or your soul contract with me and my soul contract with you were the even exchanges of where we are today.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, because we're limited to a 15-minute video today, and maybe we'll carry on and you know, I'll cut it at 15 and we'll just create another video, just to continue the stream of energy in this information. I don't want to claim that my whole spiritual growth over my life and where I'm at today only came from the channeling that we did.
No.
Although I really feel that it's important to give credit where credit is due. And we did have a lot of growth because of researching this. And so along the way, we got into other people's energies. We got onto different places on the planet that had different energies. We explored and we surrendered and released whatever we thought may have been holding us back at the time.
Even each other.
Exactly. And so that came to a point too. And so I guess we'll have to get into that particular part too. But here it is, 11 minutes and 30 seconds already. And you know, we're just starting into this. And so the cliffhanger will be, when we come back on the next video, we'll be talking about Nahara and you being the little boy that was put on a step.
That's an extraordinary story. Yes.
And so, you know, just to set this up a little bit, here we are in central Pennsylvania, Altoona, Pennsylvania, at an urgent care center, and you know, at lunchtime we have free time. We have time to go eat, and then after work. And so we chose, instead of to what a lot of people were doing, and there's no judgment here as an observer, we didn't go to the bar and drink, or we didn't go and watch football all day. We decided to, hey, this is interesting. Let's do some automatic writing. And so it went from that to, let's do some channeling, and let's see what we can come up with. And we'll do some hypnotherapy on each other, we'll do some Reiki energy, and let's see what we can create or co-create within the time frame allotted. And so the next video we do, we're going to talk about Nahara and Teri as she had perceived herself as a little 10-year-old boy, 8-year-old boy?
A little 12-year-old boy is my ego.
Okay. And so with that, we're going to cut this short here at about 15 minutes. And we're going to send you guys love, light, and laughter. Thank you, Teri.
Thank you.
And until next time.